Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
The following is a Govardhan Puja class given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaja on November 12th, 2015 in Sridham, Mayapur, India. The class was given on the rooftop of the Lotus Building.
Maganadamaganlasya Salakaya Chaksurumeditham Jaina Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Namah Vishnu Padaya Vishtaprastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Sati Deve Oradani Patarene Nivisai Sasanyavadi Paschatya Satarene Chaitanya Abhanitananda Siyataita Katadhara Siyasari Gaura Bhattavilla Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri. Govardhan, 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 Jaya Giri Govardhan. Karoti Vachalam Pangulang Ayateganam Yatkita Samahan Mande Segam Nidhayanam Paramanandamalam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram. So the day is the auspicious anniversary of the appearance of Giriraj.
Today is the auspicious anniversary of the appearance of Giriraj,
of Govardhan. In the sense that today is the day that Krishna offered worship to the Giriraj.
In the sense that today is the day that Krishna offered worship to Giriraj.
His father and the cowherd men were preparing to do the Indra Puja.
His father and the cowherd men were preparing to do the Indra Puja.
So he wanted to teach Indra.
So he wanted to teach Indra.
Indra was forgetful of the position of the Vishnu.
Indra was forgetful of the position of Vishnu.
So Krishna asked his father what he was doing, if he would tell him.
So Krishna asked his father what he was doing if he could tell him.
He said that a liberal person, he doesn't keep any secrets.
He said that a liberal person, he doesn't keep any secrets.
And he tells everyone.
And he tells everyone.
But even if a person is less liberal,
But even if a person is less liberal,
at least he'll tell his family members and relatives.
at least he will tell his family members and relatives.
So, like this, Krishna was laying the basis for Nandaraj, explaining to him.
So like this, Krishna was laying the basis for Nanda Maharaj, explaining to him.
But Nandaraj was thinking that this whole issue will be too complex for my child to understand.
But Nanda Maharaj was thinking that this whole issue is too complex for my child to understand.
But Lord Krishna continued to inquire,
But Lord Krishna continued to inquire.
is this given in the Vedas,
Is this given in the Vedas,
or this is just some tradition that you do?
or is this just some tradition that you do?
So then Nandaraj, in simple words, he said,
So then Nanda Maharaj, in simple words, he said
that we are very much dependent on having good dreams.
that we are very much dependent on having good rains.
Because as Vaishyas, they were engaged in the production of grains
Because,
and cow production.
because as Vaishyas, they were engaged in the production of grains and cow protection.
So he said that we are very grateful to Indra for sending us these rains.
So he said that we are very grateful to Indra for sending us these rains.
But then Lord Krishna, he wanted to get Indra angry.
But then Lord Krishna, he wanted to get Indra angry.
So he started to speak the karma mimamsa philosophy.
So he started to speak the karma mimamsa philosophy.
And by saying that the devas, they give blessings because you do good work.
By saying that the devas give blessings because you did good work.
So what's really important is you just do your work according to your varnashram.
So what is really important is that you do your work according to your varnashram.
And the devas, they have to give.
And the devas, they have to give.
It's not that they have an independent authority.
It is not that they have some independent authority.
So this angered Indra a lot.
This angered Indra a lot.
But Krishna was so convincing
But Krishna was so convincing
that he presented that we should worship all these grains and
But Krishna was,
ghee.
so convincing that he presented that we should worship all these grains, ghee,
Worship the Govardhan by cooking preparations and offering to the Giriraj.
that we should worship Giriraj by cooking and offering preparations.
So they took all these grains, ghee, and they cooked halwa,
So they took all these.
rice,
So they took all these grains and cooked halwa, sabji, rice,
and made a big feast for Lord Govardhan.
and made a big feast for Lord Govardhan.
Now Krishna said that Govardhan is not different from him.
So Krishna said that Govardhan is not different from him.
And he took a large form
And he took a large form
while he kept his childlike form.
while he kept his childhood form.
So I told Narad, see, Giriraj has taken this form to accept your offerings.
So he said, see, Giriraj has taken this form to accept your offerings.
So the villagers are offering him prasadam. Literally, he was eating.
So different devotees were offering him prasad and literally he was eating.
In fact, in Govardhan, they have one village called Anayor.
In fact, in Govardhan, they have a village called Aniyor.
It means bring more, bring more.
It means bring more, bring more.
And Govardhan, as much as they bring, he'd eat it, and then it said, bring more, bring more.
In Govardhan, he would begin to eat and then he would say, bring more, bring more.
So, like this, they're offering a mountain of rice with dals,
Like this, they were offering a mountain of rice with dals,
halwa,
halwa,
chapatis,
chapatis,
pakora,
pakoras,
and also milk sweets,
and also milk sweets,
sweet rice, sandesh,
sandesh,
and many other preparations.
and many other preparations.
So, the day of this day, they have an extreme puja to Govardhan.
So on this day, they have extreme puja to Govardhan.
Now, the Brahmins and ladies and bullock carts and the men would circumambulate the Govardhan hill.
The men and ladies in bullock carts, they would circumambulate Govardhan hill.
The ladies were riding on the bullock carts,
The ladies are riding on the bullock carts,
and the men were walking,
and the men were walking,
and the Brahmanas were chanting mantras.
and the Brahmanas were chanting mantras.
So that was the puja done 5,000 years ago.
So that was the puja done 5,000 years ago.
In the harmonist,
In the harmonist,
it tells how Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, gives the Anakut.
In the harmonies, it mentions how Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he did Annakut.
But in the new temple in Bhagavatar, Calcutta,
In the Bagh Bazaar, in the new temple in Bagh Bazaar at Calcutta,
a new temple at that time,
new temple at that time,
1921 or something.
1921 or something.
And then it says that people had come rich and poor,
And it said that people would come rich and poor,
aristocratic and beggars,
aristocratic and beggars,
high class Indian ladies,
high class Indian ladies,
also Mohammedans,
also Mohammedans,
Christians,
Christians,
Buddhists,
Buddhists,
Jains,
Jains,
not giants, but Jains.
Jains.
And which shows there was a very cosmopolitan,
Which shows that it was very cosmopolitan.
and so they said by the most humble estimate, 100,000 people came to take the Anakut Prasad.
So, by a simple estimate, about 100,000 people came to take Annakut Prasadam.
They said there are 60 mounds of rice.
Said that 60.
60.
It said 60.
Yeah.
There were 60 mounds of rice.
Mound is 40 kilo.
Mound is 40 kilo.
I heard a story
I heard a story
from one of the Gaudiya sannyasis,
from one of the Gaudiya Math sannyasis,
how a dog had come up and eaten from the Annakut.
how a dog had come up and eaten from the Annakut.
Everybody stood back.
Everybody stood back. Oh, contaminated.
And they told the Bhaktisiddhanta
And they told this to
Thakur
Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur,
that a dog has eaten the amount of rice.
that a dog has eaten the mound of rice.
I said, really?
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
And he said, show me where.
And he said, show me where.
I showed him
They showed him
that place.
that place.
I said, this is the place.
You're sure this is the place?
Yes.
Yes.
This place here, this little indentation,
This place where there's small indentation,
that's the place.
that's the place.
Okay, then I took,
Then he took and ate it.
and they started to distribute the Annakut rice.
Then they distributed the Annakut rice.
The after the Bagh Bazaar success, all the Gaudiya Maths were doing Annakut.
After the Bagh Bazaar success, all the Gaudiya Maths, they were doing Annakut.
And then Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was in Jagannath Puri.
Om Vishnupad Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was in Jagannath Puri,
And he suddenly said that he wanted the Annakut observed in a particular way.
he suddenly said that he wanted the Annakut to be observed in a particular way.
He said that we should have different styles of cooking
He said that we should have different styles of cooking
and decorating the Govardhan Hill.
and decorating Govardhan Hill.
Bengali style,
Bengali style,
preparation that Lord Chaitanya liked,
preparations that Lord Chaitanya liked,
North Indian style
North Indian style,
preparations like Krishna liked,
preparations that Krishna liked,
South Indian style.
South Indian style.
So like this, he said, well, this should not be a culinary festival.
This should not be a culinary festival.
It should primarily be preaching.
It should primarily be preaching.
And the different sannyasis and senior devotees,
And the different sannyasis and senior devotees,
they are giving classes
they were giving classes
throughout the Gaudiya months all day long.
throughout the Gaudiya Maths all day long.
And if not being a formal class, they would meet people and tell them some Krishna Katha.
If not giving a formal class, they would meet people and tell them some Krishna Katha.
I was thinking about
I was thinking that
if we had known this,
if we had known this,
we could observe the Govardhan Puja
we could observe the Govardhan Puja
not only with East India, North India, South India,
not only East India, North India, South India,
but also Italian
but also Italian
and various cuisines from different parts of the world.
and various cuisines from different parts of the world.
So it's interesting how he used the undercoat as a forum to spread Krishna consciousness.
It is interesting how he used Annakut as a form for spreading Krishna consciousness.
So throughout that, he had introduced this undercoat in ISKCON.
Srila Prabhupada, he introduced this Annakut in ISKCON.
And here in Mayapur we had tons of rice
And in Mayapur we had tons of rice
and other festival items.
and other festival items.
And afterwards, after we did a cow up the second Monday, but the cow would slip on the marble sometimes.
And we would get a cow to circumambulate, but then the cow would slip on the marble sometimes.
So, wasn't so good.
So it wasn't so good.
Today, it was nice to see mounds of rice before the Radha.
Today when I see mounds of rice before Radha Madhav
And some pots.
and some pots,
But Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati,
but Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur,
not only would he have different kinds of cuisine,
not only he would have different kinds of cuisine,
each kind had to prepare 500 varieties.
each type you had to prepare 500 varieties.
500 Bengali,
500 Bengali,
500 North Indian,
500 North Indian,
500 South Indian.
500 South Indian.
And in Mayapur, we have our Chinese, Russian,
In Mayapur now we have Chinese, Russian,
Italian,
Italian.
who else?
Who else?
They have,
Spanish.
they have Spanish 500 varieties.
In Spanish you have 500 varieties.
But especially I wanted to, this is the day that Elder Anakut,
This especially I want to. This is a day after Annakut.
that Prabhupada from his room, he was hearing dogs bark,
Prabhupada from his room, he was hearing dogs bark.
and he walked over and looked down
He walked over and looked down
from the Lotus building,
from the Lotus building,
and he saw
and he saw
some village children
some village children
with a stick in one hand,
with a stick in one hand
beating back the dogs.
beating back the dogs.
On the other hand,
With the other hand,
eating the remnants
eating the remnants
that people left on their plates.
that people left on their plates.
And Prabhupada was literally crying.
And Prabhupada is literally crying.
He said how hungry they must be.
He said how hungry they must be.
They're fighting dogs to get the uchista, to get the remnants.
They're fighting dogs to get the uchishta, to get the remnants.
This is the house of Krishna. He is the Supreme Father.
This is the house of Krishna. He is the Supreme Father.
We should see that within 10-mile radius,
We should see that within 10-mile radius,
no one goes hungry.
no one goes hungry.
That was the beginning of our ISKCON food relief
That was the beginning of our ISKCON food relief
on a very massive scale.
on a very massive scale.
So that's part of our unique culture here in Mayapur.
So that's part of our unique culture here in Mayapur,
I want to feed the people.
that we want to feed the people.
I saw that was quite well organized, the prasadam feeding today.
I saw that it's quite well organized, the prasadam feeding today.
At least what happened here in the Prabhupada Park.
That they had it here in the Prabhupada Park.
And anyway, that's a very important part of our culture,
That's a very important part of our culture,
that we want to feed hungry people.
that we want to feed hungry people.
Hunger is not only poverty, people may have a spiritual hunger also.
Hunger is not just poverty, but people may have a spiritual hunger also.
I remember one quite wealthy lady,
I remember one quite wealthy lady.
she said, I can cook khichdi.
She said that I could cook khichdi.
I can put very expensive ingredients,
I can put very expensive ingredients,
spices,
spices,
pistachios, opulent khichdi.
almond,
Opulent khichdi.
opulent khichdi.
But it won't taste like yours.
But it won't taste like yours.
Somehow your khichdi is out of this world.
Somehow your khichdi is out of this world.
And we said, yes, it's tasted like Krishna.
We said, yes, it's tasted by Krishna.
It has Krishna's lotus mouth.
It has touched Krishna's lotus mouth.
Therefore, it's spiritually opulent.
So, therefore, it's spiritually
Opulent.
opulent.
I was reminded by one story
I was reminded by one story
that happened to me with, regarding Giriraj.
that happened to me regarding Giriraj.
that our Jagannath Baladev and Subhadra deities in Rajapur.
Our Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra deities in Rajapur.
They come to the Pujari in his dream,
They come to the Pujari in his dream,
and they said, ever since you put a Govardhan Shila on the altar,
ever since you put a Govardhan Shila on the altar,
and he's a mountain.
he's a mountain.
He eats everything.
He eats everything.
He doesn't wait. He just dives in, don't take everything.
He doesn't wait, he just dives and zoom, he takes off everything.
Well, we're not getting any roga,
We are not getting any boga.
so you have to do something.
So you have to do something.
So they came to me,
So they came to me,
Pujari,
Pujari,
and they said this problem is there.
and they said that this problem is there.
This is part of our management in Mayapur.
This is part of our management. This is part of our management in Mayapur.
Not in any of the training books.
It's not there in any of the training books.
How to settle disagreements from the deities.
How to settle disagreement between the deities.
So I was thinking what to do.
So I was thinking what to do.
This was a very unusual case.
It was a very unusual case.
So after some investigation,
So after some investigation,
I found that when Maharaj had left his Govardhan Shila there on the altar,
I found that one Maharaj had left his Govardhan Shila on the altar,
but that was nothing he could do about that.
There's nothing we could do about that.
But they were offering one plate for all the deities.
They were offering one plate to all the deities.
Govardhan,
So Govardhan,
being a mountain,
being a mountain,
he could eat so much.
he could eat so much.
So then I suggested that they offer Govardhan a special plate
Then I suggested that they offer Govardhan special plate
and offer the other deities a different plate,
and offer the other deities a different plate
and see if that stops the complaints.
and see if that stops the complaints.
So after that, no complaint came.
So after that, no complaint came.
In the Krishna book purport,
In the Krishna book purport,
Prabhupada says how
Prabhupada says how
devotees get, since Krishna declares that Govardhan is not different from him,
since Krishna declares that Govardhan is not different from him,
that the devotees get small stones
the devotees get small stones
and offer those to and offer puja.
and offer puja.
Prabhupada would say that this puja is more spontaneous,
Prabhupada would say that this puja is more spontaneous,
and that number of devotees who have Sagar Sila and some have the Govardhan Sila.
there are a number of devotees who some have the Salagram Shila and some have Govardhan Shila.
Some have both.
Some have both.
So that's some discussion about Govardhan.
So that's some discussion about Govardhan.
Yeah, there's some time left.
There's some time left.
If any of you have any questions,
If any of you have any questions,
tell me.
tell me. Krishna says in the Prabhupada says in the Krishna book that one can bring a Shila of Govardhan and worship? Is it necessary that one should take the permission of a Brajavasi before bringing them?
I noticed that also,
I noticed that also,
and I suspected someone may ask,
suspected someone may ask.
but I don't know exactly where it started.
I don't know exactly where it started.
I think that Prabhupada asked
I think that Prabhupada asked
whether the devotee got that from a Brajvasi or not.
that the devotee got it from a Brajavasi or not.
It seems to be the etiquette
Seems to be the etiquette
that a Brajvasi should give you a Govardhan Shila.
that a Brajavasi should give you a Govardhan Shila.
But I haven't researched it more than that.
But I haven't researched it more than that.
But this seems to be the etiquette.
But this seems to be the etiquette.
And usually devotees who want to worship the Govardhan Shila
And usually devotees who want to worship Govardhan Shila
can find a Brajvasi who will give them one.
can find a Brajavasi to give them one.
What is the best thing we can do? The last part of today, with difficulty we have come to Mayapur with the whole orphanage children here. What can we do to get the most from Mayapur when we leave Mayapur tomorrow?
She's brought a group of children from the orphanage. What is the most that we can do today because they're leaving tomorrow to get spiritual benefit?
Asking me at 9 o'clock at night.
Pardon? You are asking me the question at 9 o'clock at night.
And now the last part we want to use even more.
They use the whole day.
3:30 morning they have come.
They came for the Mangalarti at 3:30. They used the whole day well. What they should do for the last part?
What time do you take rest?
What time do you take rest?
After we finish all the programs in the temple, we take rest so that morning we can come for.
What time?
As soon as we finish our class,
As soon as they finish the class.
if there's something we can do, we will do and then take rest.
If there's something they can do, they'll do it and take rest.
Well, there are two things.
There are two things.
One is we're going to give out some prasadam,
One is they were going to give out some prasadam.
and kids can come up first to get prasadam.
The kids can come up first and get prasadam.
And the second thing
Second thing
is that before they go to sleep, they bow down and pay their obeisances to the 9 islands and to the different deities, the Govardhan.
and before they go to sleep, they could bow down to the 9 islands, to the different deities and Govardhan.
And the presiding deities here.
And the presiding deities here.
And chant Panchatattva and Hare Krishna.
And chant Panchatattva and Hare Krishna.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Two more questions.
Sometimes it is said that we should prepare for Krishna only that dishes that he likes, only such preparation that he likes. Guru Maharaj mentioned that we can also offer something like Russian cuisine, Italian cuisine. Is it only on Govardhan or
Yeah, she's asking that it is said sometimes that we should prepare only those food that Krishna likes. So Guru Maharaj mentioned about Italian cuisine, Chinese cuisine. These are only for Govardhan Puja.
Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur
Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur
had
prescribed
500 preparations
500 preparations
of each style.
of each style.
And during our Prabhupada Vyasa Puja, we offer 2016 preparations.
And during Srila Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja, we offer 2016 preparations.
And those are various kinds.
And those are of various kinds.
So, for these very important days,
So for these very important days,
you can make a vast quantity of preparations.
you can make very vast quantity of preparations.
For ordinary days,
For ordinary days,
you may just have 7 or 10 preparations.
you may just have 7 or 10 preparations.
And there's no such hard and fast rule that you can only cook things that Krishna likes.
There's no hard and fast rule that you can only cook things which Krishna likes.
You don't know that he doesn't like Russian preparations.
We don't know that he doesn't like. We don't know that he doesn't like. We don't know that he doesn't like Russian preparations.
In Malaysia, one devotee asked me,
From Malaysia, one devotee asked me,
does Krishna know Tamil?
"Does Krishna know Tamil?"
I said, yes.
I said, "Yes."
He knows all languages.
He knows all languages,
Even the languages of the birds and the beasts
even the languages of the birds and the beasts
and the trees.
and the trees.
He knows Tamil.
He knows Tamil.
That's why he was happy. Krishna knows Tamil.
That way he said, "Krishna knows Tamil."
That means Krishna also knows Russian.
The Krishna also knows
Russian
Russian,
and Chinese
Chinese,
and Telugu.
and Telugu.
On special days like Prabhupada liked kachoris.
On special days, Prabhupada liked kachoris.
No. On special days, we prepare some preparation which those that they what they like.
On special days, we make that preparations which they like,
But we make other many preparations also.
but we can make many preparations also.
So Prabhupada like kachoris there.
The Prabhupada like kachoris,
But we can also make him a variety of other preparations.
so we can also make them a variety of other preparations.
No restriction.
There's no restriction.
We should take advantage to glorify Prabhupada, glorify Krishna.
We should take advantage to glorify Prabhupada, to glorify Krishna. Maharaj spoke very nicely on the Annakuta from the harmonist. So I would like to know if Maharaj would encourage us to read some section from the harmonist like Janmashtami or some things like that.
Those devotees who are in charge of the festival organization
Those devotees who are in charge of festival organization
may be useful to study what our previous acharyas did on those occasions.
may be useful to study what our previous acharyas did on those occasions.
And just like this in the Bhakti, what's it called? High Bhakti Vilas
And just like the Hari Bhakti Vilas,
by Sanatana Goswami,
Sanatan Goswami,
he also tells what to do on different occasions.
he also tells what to do on different occasions.
And so these things are in the advanced levels of deity worship.
So these things are advanced levels of deity worship.
May not be for everybody, but those who are organizing festivals,
May not be for everybody, but for those who are organizing festivals,
they can research what was done by previous acharyas.
they can research what was done by the previous acharyas.
We follow Sadhu Shastra Guru.
We follow Sadhu Shastra and Guru.
So if there are previous acharyas, it's Guru.
So we have previous acharyas,
It's Guru.
it's Guru.
And if there are some other sadhus,
There are-
other Vaishnavas,
There are some other sadhus, other Vaishnavas,
it's sadhu.
it's Sadhu.
Prabhupada says that particularly we should do this or that, well, that takes precedence for us.
If Prabhupada says particularly we should do this or that, that takes precedence for us.
Whether he just says have a big festival,
If he just says that have a big festival,
what's the harm in researching what our previous acharyas did?
then what's the harm in researching what our previous acharyas did?
Prabhupada said that he would construct the structure of the ISKCON,
Prabhupada said that he would construct the structure of ISKCON,
and that we had to fill in the walls and windows.
that we had to fill in the walls and windows.
So thank you all very much.
So thank you all very much.
This side men, this side ladies, the kids first.
This side men, this side ladies, but kids first.